So recently I asked you all what you'd like to see, and, well, you answered. Apparently even Nazem Kadri can't beat Trevor Zegras out when it comes to the overall distaste. Hands down to Glovey for this comment.
Generational talent.
Ultimate winner. Don't get me wrong, I really like Nazem Kadri. Zegras, on the other hand, that's a different story. In today's video, we're going to go over several times that Zegras trolled his opponents. Moments that entail mouth running, slew footing, and shooting pucks in after whistles. And with that, here are the top 6 troll moments from Trevor Zegras. It's probably not a shocker here to see a scrum happening between the Sharks and Ducks. However, the reason behind it happening was the frustration that Zegras was feeling by the third period. Since the Ducks had struggled to compete in San Jose, they were down 4-1 by this time this altercation transpired. Meaning that since Zegras knew the game was pretty much over for him and his team, he decided to troll the opposing team. Just a little here. So, here we can see Zegras coming up behind Lane Peterson and giving him a cross-check. Jonah Gadjevich confronts Zegras, and all of a sudden more players join in. But it's funny to me how Zegras starts hugging his own teammate, and when Zegras ends up behind the officials protected at the end. It's funny how that's usually the case. Definitely a similar type of scenario is transpiring here against Pittsburgh. Anaheim is down by a few goals and Zegras is likely frustrated. But as we're about to see, this time the youngster gets schooled a bit by a veteran. Zegras, who was attempting to go deep into the Penguin zone, was likely annoyed by the offside call the team received. Therefore, he decided to try and shoot the puck in post-whistle. It's funny because I've seen some people saying they think Zegras missed on purpose, etc., but I'm sure everyone can admit at least that he definitely committed here. After losing the puck on his stick, Zegras continued in motion as if he did have the biscuit on his blade. Regardless, Sidney Crosby, who witnessed it firsthand, decided to give Zegras a piece of his mind, as the captain could be shown making a beeline for Zegras and giving him a shove/bump thereafter. This moment right here has to be my personal favorite because it's just so comical to me how much audacity this kid has. This time in Honda's center, however, the Ducks are up in the game, and in result, Zegras fully committed himself to playing in the defensive end. Well, sort of. As the Dallas Stars set up in the Ducks zones and go D to D, the puck takes a bounce behind the cage. Zegras, who had decided to defend against Yoel Kiviranta, witnessed his stick breaking in the process. Possibly due to frustration, Zegras decides to push his opponent into the boards. After colliding with the boards, Kiviranta loses his stick. Zegras, who sees an opportunity, picks up the intact twig and proceeds to play as if nothing happened. Now, what I love about this is Zegras, after getting the stick, tries to evade Kiviranta and ignore him the best he can. In result, Kiviranta basically goes to tell the teacher on Zegras, and the referee gives Zegras a penalty. But here we can see the forward literally has zero shame as Zegras tries to debate with the official, possibly arguing that his stick was broken. Anyways, he's sent to the penalty box despite his protests to sulk for a couple of minutes. Again, I think we just need to stop and acknowledge the nerve that this kid has sometimes. As again, in humorous fashion, Zegras decided to show spectators that he has zero shame. Early into a contest in which the Ducks were hosting the Islanders, play came to a screeching halt. Reason being, with a few minutes to spare, Zegras managed to get himself sent to the penalty box. But how he gets there, to me, is just hilarious to say the least. Zegras, who is in puck pursuit, is held up by Jean-Gabriel Pageau. Pageau does manage to get his arm out and restrains Zegras directly after. Probably due to frustration, I know you can make a drinking game with how much I'm saying this word. Instead of waiting for the official to make the call, Zegras decides to slew foot Pageau, causing him to lose his footing. While some may think Zegras just lost an edge out there, to me, it's funnier in my mind to believe that this was all intentional from the get-go. Anyways, both Pageau and Zegras were sent to the penalty box in result of the play. A little past the midway point of the game between the Rangers and the Ducks, things got a little chippy in the Rangers' end. After a failed cross-crease goal attempt by Anaheim, the net became dislodged directly after. But Zegras, who was trailing on the play, decided to take a shot into the dislodged cage. Now obviously this sparks a scrum, and if it didn't, I would be concerned. Because not only did Zegras take the shot, but he even went a step further and sellied, just to troll a little more. I have zero clue as to why the referee waited as long as he did to blow the whistle, but Zegras decided to take the whole play to the whistle thing literally here. Obviously, this has to be number one, and if you already knew of the incident, then you were probably expecting it. Anyways, things really spun out of control here at Honda Center during a contest between Anaheim and Arizona. Adam Henrique, who lost his stick up high on Barrett Hayden, may have thought Hayden embellished on the play and decided to give him a shove. Zegras, seeing the altercation, decided to join in and cross-checked Hayden while he was laying on the ice. Up until this point in time, it's just a usual scrum in the hockey world, nothing out of the ordinary. But once Troy Stetcher arrived on the scene, this is what caused everything to blow up. Zegras, who started chirping Stetcher, appeared to point up and say something that infuriated his opponent. While it's hard to really know exactly what was said, what the internet seemed to think was that Zegras was making a reference to Stetcher's late father. Anyways, regardless, he was dealt a 10-minute misconduct following the scrum. Later on, post-game, Zegras was questioned about the comments and said, "It's pretty much standard trash talk," Zegras says. If he wants to act like that, it's totally fine. Reporter Craig Morgan also tweeted that the comments made from Zegras were, quote, "very inappropriate," end quote, but not related to Stetcher's father. And for the chef's kiss, Brad Marchand decided to tell Morgan as a reply to shut his pie hole. Regardless, whatever came out of Zegras' mouth during the ordeal visibly had Stetcher close to tears and absolutely irate. In closing, I think Zegras honestly is just getting started with this. Some are already calling him Marchand Jr., and I think he's going to be getting into his opponents' heads for years to come.
We're all talking about it, and they knew what I said before the game. I don't know, I guess I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind, I guess.
And while I'm not sure if he can rival Marchand yet in the troll department, what I can say is that I have a feeling we'll be going over part 2 eventually. If you'd like to support my channel and stay hydrated, simply use my promo code AlyssaHope in all caps for 20% off and free shipping of Liquid IV products. If you'd like to support me monthly instead, feel free to join my Patreon, where you can get tons of perks, including a welcome message from yours truly. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.